Hi and welcome to this new video. In this video I'm going to talk about a very simple topic, but it's a topic that I struggle with, and it's very simple, but I think it will help a lot of people doing this very simple stuff, which is how do I place an RGB camera in an URDF robot, which I've done thousands of times in Gazebo in ROS1. How do I do it in ROS2? So if you are interested, continue watching this video. Before we start, please remember that we are hosting our 4th ROS Developers Day, and that I invite you to sign in. And without further ado, let's get started. So there are mainly several things that that are really important to get a simulation running. One is the following. So let me just minimize myself. There you go. Okay, so let me clean up this a bit so that's not cluttered with loads of stuff. Okay. So the first thing is how do I launch it? How do I create? What kind of launch do I create? Right? All the code that I'm showing right now, it will be in the video description in a ROSJECT, and you just have to click it, and all this code will be copied to your session. So very easy. So if you can see here, we have Boxbot Gazebo for Foxy, and here we have a Boxbot launch. Yep. So it's a very standard launch in ROS2, but for the people that are not very familiar with ROS2, essentially what we're using is Python to launch and to manage everything. Now we don't use XML for practically anything except packages and package XML. And here what we're doing is two things. One, we are starting a world, which I won't go into how to do that. And this one is spawn the robot. As you can see, I've placed a version 3. So let's have a look. So here, what we're doing here is we are launching these two launches, and this one in particular, it's in the package box description, which is here, here. Okay, so now I have to look for this version 3, which I assume it's here. There you go. Oops. There we go. Okay, so here we have mainly three things. We have a declaration that we want to use simulation time, yes or no, depend on what we want. So in our case, I said as false, but we can say true if we want. So true. Okay, so now we are stating then robot description, which is spawn robot, which this will load the robot description here, this one, URDF, and it will spawn it in the world. That's it. But we don't have robot state publisher, and we have to have a robot state publisher to have the images published. Not published, but that we can visualize them in RViz. Because in ROS1 we could see them no matter if we didn't have TFs and so on. Here it seemed that if I didn't have them, we couldn't visualize them. This is one thing that you have to add, which is robot state publisher. And then here we spawn a boxbot, which if we go here, spawn boxbot pi. And this is quite a mess actually, but essentially what's doing is using this spawn entity service. We're creating a client and we're using the spawn entity to spawn whatever launch we gave. In this case, this is the URDF, which is here, and what we're doing is we are saying, okay, give me the path to this package, and then in robot boxbot URDF, this is the file. Then we check that it exists, and then we open it so that we have robot description variable with all the value inside that we will use in this this node for robot state publisher. In this case, we only need the path to that file, and inside this one, if we have there we go. So basically, this is the content, the content of the value that the XML. So basically, it's reading the same thing that we were doing in the other one. Yep. Okay. Now we have, in theory, our robot that it spawned in the world, and in theory, it should be working, right? Well, no, because we have to add a camera. Okay. I don't assume that you have it, because that way we are sure that it's working. So I haven't used chakras in the URDFs in ROS2. If someone uses them, please leave it in the comments below to a tutorial to how to use them effectively. And if you go scroll down, we have this camera, which essentially it's the same way that we did it in ROS1 in the URDFs. Is exactly the same. We don't have to change anything. The library is called the same, so no problems there. Good. So essentially we're just placing an RGB camera. Okay. Now, if we have the camera and the URDF and we have the robot state publisher, it should be publishing and be able to see it in RViz. Let's have a look then. So if we go here and we spawn the robot. Okay. Okay, we have our tiny robot here. There we go. And now I'm going to launch RViz. And I'm going to place the frames. I'm going to add the camera, but there's nothing. And then I got really crazy about this because, okay, let's check if it's publishing. Let's have a look. Let's go to our ROS2 workspace, source, install, setup bash, ROS2 topic list, and ROS topic, ROS2 topic echo this one. Well, it's publishing, so why it's not appearing in RViz? And this is the key point for ROS2. So ROS2 has a very granular, and it can be very strict in the policy of the messages, the quality of the messages, because it's going around the policy of being more safe and real time. So if we go here to image and we go to topic, we see that reliability policy, it's reliable. And this simulation doesn't seem to be reliable enough. So best effort. And there you have it. So now we have our image of the world, which is very, very dull, but it's a simple empty world. And that's how you add and make work and visualize an RGB camera in a robot that you've done yourself and you spawned in a world in ROS2. And yeah, that's it. So thanks a lot. Give a like if you like the video and subscribe if you haven't done it yet. And please remind that we are hosting this 4th ROS Developers Day. The speakers have already done the ROSJECTs, and the projects are really cool, and I would highly recommend that you assist, because there's some projects that you're bound to love, and they will explain things that you normally don't have a specialist of ROS, of robotics, of those high quality levels talking about a very specific thing, very practical. So please, I hope I can see you in the 4th ROS Developers Day. And that's it. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Bye.